Hey, this is Alan with the National Weather Service in Kansas City with an early afternoon update to the severe weather potential later this afternoon and into the evening and overnight hours. What you see before you is the most recent Storm Prediction Center update for the severe weather threat today. So this came out just before 11:30 this morning, and you can see not a whole lot of change. Still primarily an enhanced that orange area, enhanced risk across a good chunk of northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas, and then on northward into parts of Nebraska and Iowa. Then the slight risk in the yellow further south, and then going into the greens there, marginal or more of a generic thunderstorm. So again, primarily northern Missouri, northwest Missouri is going to be under the gun. Before we go on to that, I do need to point out that the Weather Service in Omaha is undergoing an upgrade to some of their services or some of their IT infrastructure. So their weather radios are going to be down for this event. So that includes this one in Schubert, Nebraska, and this one in Essex, Iowa. So what that means is some parts of our service area people may primarily use those sites. As you can see here, northeast Kansas, northwest Missouri is primarily served by Schubert. Essex, Iowa clips portions of northwest Missouri, although many may not be tuned into it. But a couple of potential replacements for today would be St. Joseph, which gets a good chunk of northeast Kansas into northwest Missouri, or Maryville, which gets a good chunk of northwest Missouri there. So again, just in case anyone's tuning into those Omaha-based ones, these couple of substitutes may suffice. Coming back to the actual outlook, we'll go through the three aspects of it. So the first of which, the tornado potential. You see highlighted in yellow, generally speaking, a 10% probability or greater, as well as this black dashing or stippling. That's going to indicate that there are ingredients or suggestions that we do have the potential for some higher end stronger tornadoes, thinking EF2 or greater. Going on to the wind side, of course, with any strong thunderstorm, wind can be a concern. But to be quite honest today, of the three aspects, tornado and hail, which I'll show you in just a second, are probably the primary two concerns, with severe winds or strong winds bringing up the rear. But again, can't completely ignore it. See a pretty wide area highlighted with a 15 to almost 30% probability. So jumping over to the hail, again, you see kind of that black stippling come out again, and that red highlighted area suggests a probability greater than 30%. But once again, that black dashed or stippling area also suggests ingredients in place, the potential for some very large hail, potentially greater than 2 inches in diameter, upwards towards baseballs even. So again, we're expecting storms to organize or spin, rotate very quickly. And anytime you get that in conjunction with a very what we call, juicy or atmosphere with a lot of energy potential with it, you can get these higher end severe potential. So again, there's the highlighted concern for, if we do get some tornadoes or tornadic activity, that they may be capable of EF2 or greater. And on the hail side, we could be capable of hail greater than 2 inches in diameter up towards baseball in size. Quickly taking a look at the timing, more specific timing. We are looking at kind of the late afternoon. So this is just one depiction, so don't hammer in on the time or the exact location. So give it a little bit of wiggle room on either side of time-wise and the location. You can generally think of it as there, but don't get too terribly specific on it. So as we get towards the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock hours, we start to see those storms blossom over northwest Missouri, southeast Nebraska, northeast Kansas. And then they carry on drifting eastward as we go through the evening. So like this is 8 o'clock, 9, 10, things of that nature. Notice it does tend to stay just north of the KC Metro, and we've seen that indication across a number of our model guidance thus far. But especially those on the north side of the Metro, don't let your guard down. Very well could be clipped by some of this activity as we go through the evening. As we get towards overnight, we do expect additional activity to crop up. That has a better opportunity to affect the metro area. The good news is at that time, at that point in time, the severity tends to come down. So the overall severe risk tends to come down. But again, not completely out of the woods. You still have hail and wind as the primary risks. So please, this afternoon and evening, pay attention to the weather. Have multiple ways to get warnings. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us in Slack or another method. Otherwise, this is the National Weather Service, Kansas City, signing off.